What I'm going to talk about now may be kind of like an uncomfortable truth. God may not want you to have the easiest outcome. God may want you to have the more difficult outcome that deep inside your gut you really don't want. You want the easier outcome because who wants another lesson to learn from and another lesson to go through? But God may not want you to have the easier road. God may want you to have the more difficult road because of the good that will come. I gave the example, you see. Let's say there's a student in a college class, and if you go along with the professor's liberal views, maybe you'll come out with a B, maybe you'll somehow come out with an A, and you kind of get through the course and you say to yourself, at least I got through the course, got it done with. And if you speak up, there's a chance, especially if you're honest with yourself, that it could be the type of environment where you end up with an F. Now you're in a situation where the easier outcome didn't happen. You didn't kowtow. You didn't cower. You didn't walk away from the situation with the B. At least I got done with the class and I got done with the requirement. Now you're dealing with an F. So now you're dealing with a harder situation. Now you have to go to the dean. But what may come, for some, not all, unfortunately, if you're a very, very strong-willed person, maybe always through peaceful means, you start talking about it. You start posting about it. You go to social media. You tell everyone what happened to you, that you were discriminated against for your political beliefs, for your First Amendment rights that were violated. All of a sudden, you find yourself that you're being featured on Fox. You're on the news. You're talking about it. Articles are writing about you. The news is covering your story. All of a sudden, you've inspired political reach outs and groups of students to come together and talking on campuses and talking about how strong that incident made you. And had the teacher given you the B, and had you kowtowed, I guess the word isn't coward, and had the B, had you walked away from the situation with the B, you may not end up where you would end up if he gave you the F. And that's a very uncomfortable thing to think about, because sometimes the F is going to get us to a very, very different place. Sometimes the F happens and not the B.